Hey guys, it's Austin Hanson with Jukudan Judo. I'm here with Mr. Ben Rothrock, Sambo Judo Jiu-Jitsu badass over here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So I'm hold black belts in judo, combat jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, modern army combatives program master trainer with the Department of the Army, and I am a master of sport of USA with All American Sambo Federation.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Been a host a great Sambo training tonight. Let me come in and pay a visit all the way from Stanford, about hour 20 minutes to get up here. It was awesome. He smoked me. His team is great. As you can see, I'm sweaty. Got a little bit of a bloody nose. You can't really tell. It was amazing. So tell them a little bit about what Sambo is and what's different between Sambo and the other grappling arts.
So Sambo combines all the different kinds of wrestling that were around the Soviet Union after World War One, before World War Two, with judo. And so the easiest way to explain it to Americans, so that Americans understand it, is kind of like freestyle judo, or freestyle wrestling mixed with judo into one sport. And then combat sambo is all of that, but now with punches, kicks, knees, elbows, and headbutts involved. So it's kind of like MMA with a jacket on, but practice on a wrestling mat.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a totally different conditioning experience compared to MMA or jiu-jitsu, judo, anything like that. But besides conditioning, especially wearing the Kurtka, is that what it's called?
Yes.
And the various equipment you're wearing, what are some other big differences you'd encourage people to work on to prepare themselves for Sambo besides coming in to train Sambo?
So being really good at not only judo throws, but also imposing wrestling style takedowns on the jacket. When a lot of times when wrestlers first cross over to Sambo, they're afraid of the jacket because the jacket can kind of stop their shots. But once they learn how to use the other person's jacket to like wind that person into position so that they can't stuff their shots, all of the wrestling immediately crosses over. But if a judo guy comes in and he's not used to people grabbing his legs, that's going to be a problem for a judoka. And a Brazilian jiu-jitsu player, they're used to like a more flowy pace on the ground, not so much the smash and smother, and not so much the intensity with the takedowns. Then the pace of Sambo and the impacts of the takedowns can be a bit overwhelming for those guys. So you kind of have to know a little bit of everything. So you have to know submission from judo and jiu-jitsu. You have to know leg takedowns from freestyle. You have to know waist up takedowns from judo and Greco. You have to have pieces of everything to be successful in the sport.
Yeah, I'll tell you, well, a little bit we did. Your osekomi, or for those that don't know Japanese, your pinning techniques, I mean, were brutal. I think I know how to do some escapes, but once you got, a good case and was sitting on my chest, it took about 10 seconds and I tapped. That was phenomenal. So, yeah, guys, this has been, amazing, multifaceted grappler. And you have black belts in both Japanese as well as Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right?
And my jiu-jitsu, American combat jiu-jitsu black belt is actually from a Hawaiian jiu-jitsu lineage.
Oh, okay.
So Professor Maynard, American combat jiu-jitsu, Professor Wally J, small circle jiu-jitsu, and then his professor was Shishiro Okazaki from Japan, but settled in Hawaii, founded Danzanryu Jiu-Jitsu, or the Hawaiian style. It descended from the old Edo era period, the Weeping Willow style, Yoshinryu Jiu-Jitsu. But he brought in pieces of the Hawaiian luau, pieces of karate, pieces of the more freestyle, folk style wrestling from America. He went back and spent a couple of years with Dr. Kano himself, bringing in pieces of judo. So it kind of became its first own mixed martial art. And because this was all stuff that you could find on the islands in Hawaii, and Hawaii was the port of call for everything coming to the mainland from Asia, Danzan is what the Chinese call Hawaii. It means sandalwood mountain. So Hawaiian style jiu-jitsu, and then it beget the one of my black belts. My highest black belt actually is in the combat jiu-jitsu, which we trace our lineage back to Okazaki. So yeah, so judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and then American combat jiu-jitsu descended from Kodokan Danzanryu style.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, again, thank you so much for telling us about your background and given the history. It's very rare to have a black belt actually understand not just, oh, I got my black belt from this guy and this guy, but the history and the whole lineage, and that's always important. That's amazing. And especially your accolades and confidence. Well, so thank you again so much for having me.
Absolutely.
You guys,
Anytime.
like and follow Greensboro Judo, and what other organizations should they try to tap into?
Southeastern Sambo Association, North American Combat Jiu-Jitsu Federation, and then you can always just look up Team Grizzly Jiu-Jitsu and Judo, and you'll be able to find everything else from there.
Phenomenal. Give him like, follow, subscribe on all of his media. Of course, me on Facebook and YouTube and everything. Just look up Shikodan Judo and you'll find me. Catch you guys on the flip side.